Hello, I am Lydia, and that is my dog Sophie. We are back at it again. Welcome to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. Today I have a special guest with me. Very special. His name is Spinner. And he's a special guy. He is one of those bigger Beanie Babies. And I'm trying to find out what his original name was, because I think his original name was Slush. And he was my favorite toy growing up. Like, he was the toy to beat all toys, my companion. And I don't know, I like seeing other people's toy, like their toy they had when they were growing up. The one that was the one. Some of us had blankies. I had a blankie, but it was sewn together by my grandma. It was a quilt by my great grandma. It was a quilt, and I got it on 4404 when I think I turned 6 years old. So, it was a special blanket. It really was. It was, purple and like lavender, and it had like lavender and like purple roses all over it, and it was a quilt. It was just so, I loved that thing, and I slept with it every night. And then I slept with it literally every night as like my main blanket that I always had to snuggle with and have on me, and it just bit the dust. Like, it was ripping apart. And some people, like that girl on TikTok, I think her name is Kirby, some people keep theirs until it is just practically dust, and I envy that. I love that. But or I've seen people like on Etsy take people's baby blankets or baby quilts and turn them into like a jacket or something, and there is something about that I'm like, oh, I wish I would have kept it just to be able to do something like that, but it was falling apart, like falling apart. And so I do not have that anymore, but I always love seeing people's stuffed animals that they had growing up and them talking about it and the significance of that, especially now that I am tapping into my inner child. You know, there was a time in my life where I was very much like, I need to be mature, I need to grow up, especially when I was turning 18. I was like, okay, I need to grow up. I'm moving away, I'm moving to a different place. I'm going to get rid of mostly all my stuffed animals growing up, and just almost like reinforce a lot of the aspects that people had put on me as a child, you know, just really reinforce that I need to grow up and be mature, and I can't be playful, and I can't be too, can't be too this way, can't be too that way. Stop it, just be this person that, that everybody made me be. And so I do regret getting rid of a lot of my childhood toys, especially all my Webkinz. How cool would it be if I could just show off all my Webkinz to you guys, little show and tell. I loved a lot of my Webkinz. I mean, some of them I'm like, dude, I can't believe I don't have that. Urgh. Sorry, just the anger. Because I loved my caterpillar one. He looked a little funky online because he had like a lot of blush, but I bet this is a common experience for those of you who played Webkinz growing up. But how many of you, like, would have your favorite Webkinz, that, like, your favorite plush toy Webkinz, and then you go online and you're like, I'm gonna cover her ears, but she looks kind of ugly online. Like, or you'd name your stuffed animal something, and then you would upload the, you know, you would have them be uploaded online, and you're like, she does not look like her name. Online, that is not a princess, you know? That is not a Midnight. I had a black bear named Midnight. But you know what I mean? It's like, but you just have to do it because that was their name. And then some of them that you would really love online, like you were like, oh my gosh, it looks so cute online. And then like the plush toy that you had, you were like, I don't know, he looks kind of funky, like his eyes like a little wonky. I don't know. Also, growing up, when you would choose a toy from the store, like, were you that kid that had to have them looking perfect? Like, you would like sift through them and like choose the one that had like the eyes were symmetrical and the stitching was perfect? Or were you the kid that was like, oh my gosh, this one is a little wonky, let me choose that one? Because I think I was a mix, not a mix of both, but I like didn't go by either. I just went by like the vibe. Like if I locked eyes with one of them, like if I saw it in the window and I was like, oh, that's the one, I want that toy. It was like I wouldn't care if how the other ones looked. It was like, no, that one's the one. It was just like a vibe thing, you know? And it wouldn't matter if their smile was a little wonky or their like, or if they looked perfect. Like it was a total energy thing. Like, her personality is just this. Yeah, she's coming home with me. And if she's not, I will be very upset. Anyway. That's just that. I don't know. Let me know, like, what was your vibe? Were you kind of like, they're a misfit, I gotta choose that one? Or, you know, or were you really looking for like the stitching to be all perfect and as it should be? Anyway, this is my dog, Spinner. My dog, Spinner. I was a wolf girl growing up. I was that girl who loved wolves. I loved wolves, huskies, dog sledding. The tundra, the Arctic. I liked a good polar bear. Not really so much penguins. Penguins were like, okay. But especially wolves. I just loved them. And a good gray wolf. Oh, I loved a good gray wolf. As I've gotten older, I like red wolves. Red wolves are so beautiful, dude. So beautiful. And like coyotes and all of that. I think they're really cool. I wouldn't consider myself a wolf person. I've definitely gone like years without really thinking about wolves, which I almost feel bad for saying because I was so obsessed with them as a kid. Like, so obsessed. Every single birthday it was, give me something wolf related, something wolf. I wanted a wolf. And it is kind of funny because I've met wolf people in my life, like my life's journey, and you can just spot a wolf person a mile away. I feel like they are just so wolf from my experience with them. And also, I have never met a wolf person who's chill about being a wolf person. Like, it is either like they are obsessed with wolves or they are not. Even when they are full-blown adults, full-blown grandmas, it is like it is either like you are a wolf person, you are obsessed with wolves, or you're just not a wolf person. And I think with that comes the fact that wolf people, I guess I shouldn't say fact. This is like what it seems to me. And this might be a fact. I might have actually gotten this from people's videos about wolf totems, but don't quote me because it's been a long time since I've watched those videos. But people who are wolf people have such a strong identity. That's what I've observed with them. Strong sense of identity. And their sense of identity is like cutthroat. Like, it is like, this is who I am. Do not encroach on that. This is who I am as a person. And identity is a is a big part of their lifestyle and and how they live their life. And it's a big topic of discussion mentally for them or internally for them. Who am I? What am I? How am I changing? What do I like? What do I dislike? What am I passionate about? Wolf people love that discussion, and that is their life. Like they seem to find value discussing and thinking about those things. Anyway, what else was I going to say about that? They also, I don't know, I had something else that I was going to say about wolf people, but, oh, they also are extremely, like, there's the lone wolf aspect of them, where they can be like, I am completely cool walking alone. And I think every wolf person has this sort of lone wolf within them. It's like this lone wolf and also chosen community. As far as I've seen with wolf people, they're big on chosen community, chosen family, not just community, family. And when they like somebody well enough, it is like, I really find kinship with this person, and they are a chosen family of mine. Like, that's so important to them, and having chosen family is important to them. But they're also cool and collected and okay in isolation by themselves, being that lone wolf and that self-discovery and all of that. But it is interesting. It's almost like they would prefer the company of themselves over just the company of just anybody. And it's either the company of themselves or the company of their pack and their chosen family. It's also funny because ironically every single wolf person that I've ever met loves huskies. Loves huskies. And it is funny because wolf people personality oftentimes mimics husky personality, if that makes sense. Very like playful but independent. Like they like their friends and their family, but they're also very like freedom loving, and like that's super important to them, is freedom. Like my independence, my individuality, where do I stand? Like where am I in the pack order? And I'm an individual in this pack, you know, all of that. That seems to be a common theme among them. Yeah, that's just what I've observed from wolf people. Also don't cross a wolf person. Don't cross a wolf person. They are people, I feel like, who are very, like, they come across very genuine. Not saying that they all are, but they have this genuine look about them. That often, and this comfortable look about them that almost makes people feel comfortable trauma dumping on them or sharing emotional things with them. And I don't know, I think that they enjoy being that person for some people. Anyway, these are just some things that I have observed with the wolf community. Yeah. Being a pack. The concept of being a pack is usually very big to them. Yeah. This was Spinner. I was obsessed with wolves, and I just wanted everything wolf. I asked for wolf blankets, I asked for wolf everything, and I did get like so much wolf memorabilia, wolf things all around me. It's also funny because maybe this isn't true for all wolf people, but it has been consistent that all the wolf people that I have met in my life so far have visually enjoyed the looks of like those tacky wolf posters and artwork where it's like a wolf howling at the moon, a wolf at dusk, a wolf with their pack, a wolf like being a lone wolf all by himself, and you know, it's like the snow's falling gently on it, like those epic photos that you find, or like those epic blankets that you find of like nature scenes. For from what I've noticed, wolf people tend to actually genuinely like that. And it's funny because when I was a kid, I genuinely liked that. I thought they were like, oh, I love it. It's like a wolf and he's like in the forest. And it's just funny because like now, you know, now that I'm at this point in my life, it's hard for me to connect to why I thought that was appealing as a child. But I did for a very long time. I'm not gonna laugh at it because it's you know, that was just who I was, and that was really what I needed in my life at that time. But and I still have a deep connection with winter and the tundra and ice and snow and resilience, dog sledding, you know, all of that. But I think it's in a little bit of a different way. Anyway, that's who I was as a kid. I wanted everything wolf, everything wolfy. I always was looking for that pack unity. And I love the idea of like having a dog that looked like a wolf. Oh my gosh. I've said this before on this channel, but I always wanted a husky growing up, of course, because wolf people tend to like huskies. I don't know, but I wanted a wolf so bad. Or not a wolf, a husky so bad. And I was obsessed with them, and when I would see huskies, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so magical. I liked Malamutes too, but I don't know what it is, but it's always huskies for wolf people. Like, they might like Malamutes, but from what I've seen, it's like consistently that they love huskies, and that was the truth for me too. And I just was obsessed with them. I wanted one so bad. And then there was a short stint of my life where I was like, well, maybe I would like a Pomeranian, because maybe they're kind of, I guess, like a fluffy, wolfy, it's like almost like a forever wolf puppy, because they're so tiny, you know what I mean? And they've got the like ears, and they're like fluffy, which is ironic because I do have a Pomeranian now in my life. But I had thought about that for a stint, and I'm like, me as a child would have been obsessed with Pomskys, and I thank God I didn't know about them. But I also would have been obsessed with Alaskan Klee Kai, which are a dog breed that resemble huskies, but they're small. And anytime somebody says that they want a Pomsky, I always say, look into Alaskan Klee Kai, because they come in 3 different sizes, and they are more even temperament, unlike, you know, Pomsky. They're going to be a little bit all over the board in terms of temperament, because they're 2 different breeds. But Alaskan Klee Kai, dude, look into them if you want a Pomsky, because trust me, childhood me would have been obsessed with an Alaskan Klee Kai, and I would have probably begged my mom for one probably every day. And I don't think she ever would have gotten one, just because, like, that doesn't make any sense for our lifestyle growing up, and like, why would I have that? And our Basset Hound probably would not have appreciated an Alaskan Klee Kai just running around, but I would have been obsessed. I would have been obsessed, because it's like a little, it's like a forever husky puppy. It's like a forever wolf puppy. In my brain, that's how that would have been. But anyway, that was just me, and I had so many wolf stuffed animals, so many. I loved them all so much. And Spinner was my all-time favorite. Spinner was everything to me. When I first got him, his fur did not look like this. Look up TY Slush, and you probably have seen this plush toy. If you grew up in the early 2000s, you probably would have seen that plush toy at some point in your life. And it had that like soft silky fur, but I had left poor Spinner on the slide outside in my backyard when it was raining and thunderstorming, and I was so afraid to go out there and get it, like so afraid of the thunder, and to go out there, and it was dark, and he was just sitting on the slide, and I was having a dilemma that day, because I just was like, he's sitting on the slide, and I want to go get him. How am I ever going to sleep tonight? He's soaking wet, but it's thundering and dark, and I was terrified. I was petrified. But anywho, he did get wet, very wet. I don't remember the result of that. I must have gotten him or something, because how could I have slept tonight without him? I do not know. But yeah, and it was lightning that night too, which was also very rare growing up in the place that I lived. Rarely ever thundered, rarely ever lightning. So pretty rare. And I always would say growing up that he got electrocuted, because I would like close my eyes and there was like strobes of like lightning going on, and he was out there. So I was like, clearly he's getting like struck by lightning. And so I would say that to people, that he got, yeah, he's been electrocuted before. He's been struck by lightning. Even though that doesn't make any sense. And I think my cousin even was like, that doesn't make any sense. He would explode. And I was like, I think I would know. I think I would know, because he telepathically told me. So don't invalidate Spinner's experience. Why is his name Spinner? You know, people would ask me growing up why his name was Spinner. And I would always say like, oh, I guess because he likes to spin. But like the truth of it was that he doesn't really like to spin. He's a pretty calm, in my headcanon, he's a calm guy. He's a chill, stoic, he's demure. He's very demure. He's very mindful. He's very demure. He's very demure-sy. In my brain, that's how he was. He was not about spinning. Not really. He would spin, but he wasn't really about that life. Like if we were on the merry-go-round, I guess he'd spin with me, but really it was just because I looked at him and for some reason I was like, Spinner is his name. When I was a kid, did anybody do this growing up, like with their toys? Like they would just look at their toy and it was like, I don't know why, but this is just their name. That's their name. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's not a whole lot of logic to it. It's just his name. I also have synesthesia, so for me, it makes a lot of sense. For me, S is this color gray, or like a blue-gray, like a slatey, bluish gray. It's very fog. It's very whisper. It's very ice on a foggy day to me. So it makes a lot of sense to me, you know? He just looked like a spinner, and so that was his name. It is funny because like when I think about the name Spinner outside of the context of his name, I'm like, that's a very like cool name. Like a very like cool dude, you know, like it sounds like 90s, like in my head I'm imagining 90s somebody's producer. He's got spiky hair, he's got like a gold earring, he's always wearing sunglasses, and he's just kind of shady. That's in my head what the name Spinner is, if I'm not looking at his context. But within context, he's not that. Like I said, he's very demure. Is that trend over? Probably. But that was Spinner. And he, to me, it was interesting because he did have a mouth. The stitched mouth. It did come up a little bit, and then one day my cousin rudely yanked it off, and I was like, that's rude. But it also didn't really matter because he has always spoken telepathically. He wasn't much of a talker, he's very quiet and he speaks telepathically with me. That's his vibe. And he's like he mimes things. Very quiet. So that's his vibe. And he's very smart. He's the goodest boy. And that is Spinner for you. Again, I mean, and it was always fun seeing like other people's in the wild. Other people used to have a slush, and mine was the only one that looked like this. Mine was the only one. Like at first I was very like, dang, like he's never gonna have that fur again, that silky fur. But then I kept seeing everybody else have that silky fur, like the slush dog with the silky fur, and I was like, yeah, mine is the only one that's like scruffy and like been through stuff. And yeah, he just set him apart from everybody else. He's a little different than the rest, and it was kind of fun. My cousin had a girl version of this, and it was kind of fun. But we just felt like, that's right, we're like, we have the same toy, but it's different. Like mine's unique, okay? We're not the same. Anywho, that was me growing up. A little bit about me. This toy definitely helped me feel less alone at many points in my life. And man, toys are so powerful, aren't they? Like they just really bring safety, security, and like a whole level of comfort to someone. And they still bring comfort to me today. Like I'm kind of over that part of me that felt like I should grow up, because this is growing up. I'm 26 and I have my stuffed animal and I collect nosy bears, and it's like embracing this inner child is like the most adult, if anything. So if you're an adult and you feel like restricted in that area, like you just feel like, no, I shouldn't, I mean, I'm an adult, I really shouldn't do that. Have stuffed animals. My mom has a stuffed bear on her bed, and that's cute, and that's sweet, and that's how it should be, because they bring us comfort still. And I think psychologically it does make us feel a sense of comfort that maybe we didn't feel or did feel as a child. Tap into that inner child, y'all. Tap into that inner child. Who was the spinner in your life? Who was the spinner in your life? Wow. Maybe if I go back here, it's better. That's much better. Who was the spinner in your life? Let me know in the comments down below. Maybe you were a different type of person. Maybe you had an obsession with a certain type of animal. And if you did, what was that? And did you have a stuffed animal that was that animal? Because this was mine. And his name was Spinner. Anyway, have a good day, you guys. That's that. I just wanted to talk about Spinner today. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye.